about 15 years ago, I was reading an article in a gardening magazine. I think it was a Florida gardening magazine, and they were talking about how you could grow potatoes in Florida successfully, because it is tricky, because the stuff usually rots when you try to grow sort of normal potatoes in the ground. And so I did an experiment based on the article, and so I'll show you that here. I had mild success 15 years ago. I did get some potatoes. So these are potato starts, Red Bliss. And as most of you know, if you have a potato in the fridge and it starts to put those little eyes out, that you can go ahead and carve those little eyes out and make these starts. You know, you have to have a little bit of potato behind it. Anyway, the article was saying just to go ahead and grow in pine straw. And so I've done that. I've got 2 7-gallons with pine straw, but I also amended with this really fine ground mulch right here. The local mulch and soil company sold this to me as premium potting soil, and that was 7 or 8 months ago, and you can see it's still mulch. I'm kind of miffed about that. It's not soil. But anyway, I digress. So what I'll do is I'll put those starts in here. I'll go ahead and do it and shut the camera off and do that real quick and then show you that. And again, I did get pretty good results years ago. You know, I didn't get a 50-pound sack of potatoes, but I probably had enough potatoes for a couple of meals. So what the hell, a couple of cuttings from the potato, the original starter potato, and you can get a lot more potatoes from it. So let me shush and I'll go ahead and get that set up real quick. Alright, so I've got the starts planted, and yeah, we'll see what happens. Like I said, I did it in a 5-gallon bucket years ago, and again, good results. And in this one, I don't think you can see it, but down in there somewhere is a volunteer seedling of a tomato plant. So if it survives and comes up, it'll be interesting to see if tomatoes can grow in this medium too. Alright, so I'll check in periodically. We'll look at vegetative growth maybe in about a month and see how much top stuff there is of green, and then I'll have to go and check online for Red Bliss, probably about 90 days maybe. I can't remember what I did years ago, and we'll see if there's any spuds in there. So part 1. There's a follow-up from the first panel of the first video clip. I'd say all of these are redos. I think all of the starts in that first video, with maybe one exception, were they died, they damped off, or maybe 2 exceptions, but maybe 50% or more crapped out. So these are all new starts that I just put in. Now I'm doing this clip because there you can see right here, this one's died. So I thought I'd video and see what was growing underneath this. So if you'll bear with me for a second, let's see if we can tug up. There might be potatoes and there might not be anything. So try to do this gently. I'll probably have to dig through. One of the nice things about growing in straw, though, is you can do this without having to do a lot of trenching. So alright, so there's the plant itself, but I see a spud here. So there's one little spud. Let's see what else is going on here. Sorry, I'm gonna have the camera away for a second. That might have been it. I harvested another one not too long ago, and that's a pine cone or something. Alright, so we'll keep this short, but yeah, so maybe a quarter size little spud. I had one come out about a week and a half ago, smaller than that, maybe half that size. So I'm sure you can dial this in with the right, maybe tweak the soil / pine straw, a little better feeding, maybe some mold protection, fungal protection. You could probably dial this in and get a better harvest. But it's just more of a proof of concept about just growing in straw. So I'll do another panel when these start crapping out. So here's one last look at the potato project, because all but maybe 2 of these plants are gone now. And I think I got the potato from that. So there's a couple more little ones. There's one right there. This plant's still going pretty good, so I'll leave it alone. And then there's a small plant there. So, but so maybe so far I've gotten 4 ounces of potatoes, but all I did was throw some pine straw in a bucket and some starts that would have gone into the scrap pile. So I guess it's not bad. And like I said in the other panel, you could tweak this and do much better, I'm sure. This is just more proof of concept. Although it didn't need to be proven because other people have done this before, but for me. So anyway, enjoy.